5, 4, 3, 2, 1. CTS Pop Culture Podcast. We are, like 3 weeks behind on this guy?
Henry accidentally said the entire name when he was supposed to say CTS
No.
PC EP 25.
EP, like, spell out 25 as like it's an acronym.
TWEN.
What the? Why are you spelling out all the words, Jace? That's bizarre.
So I love how Henry tries to blame me for not doing the podcast or not watching Bad Batch for 3 weeks, but it's just kind of insane. Okay, it's insane because there was a Mandela effect, a conspiracy. There was a conspiracy that convinced me.
You're gonna taint the audience's mind.
There was a conspiracy that convinced me that
this.
Bad Batch episodes came out on Wednesday.
Loyal audience. I'm speaking to Jace like a couple nights ago, and I say, no, Jace says to me, "Are you excited for the Bad Batch episode tomorrow?" I said, "What Bad Batch episode, Jace? Which one are you talking about? The one that came out last Friday?" He said, "No, the one that comes out on Wednesday." But if you've been attentive listeners to this podcast, you would know, unlike Jace, that Bad Batch episodes come out Friday mornings, early in the wee hours of Friday mornings, not on Wednesdays.
Now the defense may speak.
There's no defense on this one.
The defense may speak.
I'm judge, jury, and executioner.
I got baited. There was a conspiracy by Bob Iger.
Iger's not even the CEO anymore.
There was a conspiracy by Bob Iger and the current CEO.
What's his name?
Daniel Yates.
Isn't that like the character from Holes or something? Okay.
There's a conspiracy out there that convinced me that Bad Batch episodes come out on Wednesday, and I still don't believe Henry. By the way, I believe you.
That's the character from Holes. Not even close to Daniel Yates. That just popped into my head.
There was a conspiracy, and I still kind of don't believe him about it because I watched an episode in Florida when I was on vacation. I watched an episode of Bad Batch on a Wednesday night. I know I did, and you can't convince me otherwise. And there was a conspiracy out there. The first episode came out on a Wednesday. So why?
No, it came out on a Tuesday.
Okay, a Tuesday. Meh.
So episodes have never once come out on Wednesdays. Or on Wednesdays, yeah. Never once.
Wait, Tuesday at midnight?
No, because May the 4th, I think, was a Tuesday. And that's when the first episode came out.
So
the long one.
What Henry's trying to say is he understands why there was confusion. He understands why there was a miscommunication between me and the Disney CEO and Bob Iger and Daniel Yates. Who is that? Why did that name pop in my head?
Daniel Yates.
Who is that?
Look it up. This is a little bit of a tangent, but
who is that? He's got to be an actor or something, right?
He's a serial killer.
No, he's not.
From the 1960s?
No,
he's a businessman. That's the only thing.
Oh. Dan Yates, business person. Interesting. Okay,
yeah.
Weird that name popped into my head.
But if we look up Stanley Yelnats.
Let me see a picture of him. He looks just like the guy from Transformers. What's his name? The main guy from Transformers. Leave that picture.
It is the same guy.
That is?
Shia LaBeouf.
That's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shia
okay.
LaBeouf's in
No
Halls.
wonder. I knew it looked like him.
He plays the eponymous Stan. Just kidding. Eponymous means like title and character the same. But yeah, so Bad Batch. The Friday release, very important to note, and that could be, if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, could explain some of the reason why Jace seems to always be a week.
Dude, how funny
maybe
will it
2
be?
weeks behind.
How funny will it be when we can make like lore jokes about the podcast? When there's so many episodes that there's podcast lore.
The issue with that is we hit stop on this recording, gone. out of my brain. I don't remember a single thing.
We were
said
just
on the
talking about
podcast.
that. We don't remember that. We don't remember the podcast.
It's kind of bizarre. Like I've heard other podcasters that I listen to talk about it, where they're like someone will reference something in a joke, and they'll be like, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah.
But it's like legit. Like I could not tell you like 5 minutes after we finished recording.
Last week I couldn't tell you what we talked, or week before last.
Well,
I couldn't tell you. I would have no idea.
I do titles and descriptions for the podcast, right? And I struggle a lot of times to come up with what we talked about for a title or description.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That's same thing with the episodes.
Of Bad Batch, you don't remember anything that happened. That's kind of bad.
Well, yeah.
Let's get a synopsis of this last episode
So,
for you, Jace.
Okay, thinking cap. Okay, thinking cap is on. Here's what happened in the last episode of The Bad Batch. If you remember, in the episode before this one, Hunter got kidnapped by the Empire. Okay?
Specifically Crosshair.
While he's being held captive.
Captain
Rex. Captive. While he's being held captive, the other Bad Batchers, if you will, form a plan.
It's like a boy band. The
Bad Batchers. We should do something like that. You
No.
have the hair for
I
it.
don't
You could be
think so.
you could be the drummer. I'll be the singer.
Drummer?
The Bad Batch.
Nope. Yeah,
The Bad Batchers. Sounds like I'm saying the Bad Badgers.
That's a capiche on that one.
Okay. Anyways, the Bad Batchers form this plan to get him off of Kamino because they've taken him to Kamino, which has been decommissioned. By the way, all the clones have been taken out.
Kamino's that watery planet that like Obi-Wan goes to, and we see Jango Fett in the prequels.
It's a cool planet. Anyways, they take these secret tunnels to Hunter's location or near Hunter's location. They're lured into a trap. It's a trap. Okay. Omega this was weird to me, right? The Omega decision to release a bunch of droids, even though they had already taken care of the situation. Omega comes in.
I don't think she knew though.
She didn't know that. But isn't that kind of weird?
Are you insinuating that she was trying to kill the Bad Batch? Is that what we're insinuating?
Okay. Anyways, the Bad Batch get away, and Hunter and Crosshair share this moment, where
They
Crosshair.
kiss. Wait, no.
No,
Sorry.
you're projecting.
Sorry.
You're projecting again, Henry. They share this moment, and it seems that Crosshair wants. First of all, he orders Omega to be captured and sent to some off-world planet to be.
So he saves her, or he wants to save her.
Wants to save her, but Hunter wants Omega to stay with them. Crosshair, you think he's coming back to the Bad Batch, and Hunter says, let's, come back. We never left you, blah, blah, blah. Crosshair says, well, here's what we're going to do for the Empire. Imagine what we could do together. Imagine our power together. And Hunter says, well, what are you doing? It's the inhibitor chip doing this. And then we see it cuts to Crosshair. Cuts to him. And he says,
Specifically with that sound effect.
I had my inhibitor chip taken out myself. Something along those lines. And you see the scar of where they took his inhibitor chip. And were you surprised by that?
No.
You weren't surprised that he didn't have an inhibitor chip?
Yes,
you were.
It had been taken out. I was almost positive. You know that episode when they take their own inhibitor chips out?
Yes.
And he gets blasted by that engine from that ship Crosshair? I thought his inhibitor chip was deactivated since then.
Hot take. I don't know why you never told me that. Weird. Kind of.
Not really a hot take.
It's like, what do they call that when you when you experience something and then your mind changes based on that experience? And it's like, what's that called? It's like a psychological phenomenon.
Well, I couldn't tell you.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? We learned this in
not
AP
in the
Psych.
Slightest.
Yes.
I did not take AP Psych.
Shocker. Were you in IB?
No.
You just took concurrent enrollment?
I took other AP classes.
AP Psych was the easiest by far.
That's why I didn't take it.
I have a funny story
That's
about
why I
that.
didn't
I have a
take it.
really funny story about AP Psych.
On podcast story?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. So when I was taking AP Psych, the AP test is like 3.5, 4 hours long, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And AP Psych, if you don't know, is the easiest AP test. And the practice test that I had done for it, I had always passed. I had always gotten a 3 just by doing the multiple choice alone, and then the FRQs add extra things. So I took the multiple choice exam, and the time stops because they make you put it away and you start answering the other questions. I did the multiple choice, and I knew I had passed, so I just didn't do the other ones. I just didn't do the FRQ. I just napped.
That's kind of bonkers.
Isn't that crazy? And I still got a 3. It's kind of weird.
That's a little
Talking
bit
about test scores and personal things on the podcast.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this pop culture. That's
Well,
my favorite pop culture. Is
I'm
Jace's
developing a relationship with the audience. Okay.
AP Psych score.
I'm
7 people
developing
that
a
listen to our
relationship
podcast.
with the viewers, the listeners, whatever they are. I'm developing a relationship with the people while you're over here spitting nonsense about how there's not a conspiracy about the Bad Batch episode release when there definitely is. That's weird in and of itself. Forget that. We're past that. We're on the Bad Batch episode. I'm getting back on track. So we end this beautiful encounter between Hunter and Crosshair with what would you call him? The big guy for the Empire? An officer,
like the
admiral.
But whoa. You missed the part where there's the Imperial guards surrounding them, and Crosshair shoots them.
Oh, that scene was.
That's an important part,
dank,
right?
So there's these Imperial guards, stormtroopers surrounding the Bad Batchers, and Crosshair gives them an order to stand down, and they refuse. So with one bullet,
he's got mirrors set up.
Bing, 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 bing. He's got mirrors set up, and with one bullet, he kills all of them. Danko mode.
It's a laser bullet, by the way, if you didn't know.
Does it not make a sound?
No, it just makes more like a single bullet. It'd be tricky for it to bounce that many times.
What? It literally bounces off the mirrors. What do you mean?
No, a real bullet. It would be tricky for it to bounce that many times. So that's why
I don't think bullets can bounce.
That's why
like that,
it being
right.
No, they can't.
I didn't think so.
I don't believe so. Well, they probably can some, but
okay,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
The scene was cool.
Okay, it's a laser bullet instead of a real bullet. There you go, Henry. He shoots a laser, bing, 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 kills them all. And then Omega's troops are released.
Her army, her private, her mercenaries. Remember, so we watched The Mandalorian, right? Earlier this year, and those dark troopers that murked everybody but Luke.
Yeah.
She released 40 of those on him. Just
for no reason, too.
There was absolutely no reason. The guards were gone, the guards were all taken out. And so they took ages trying to escape them.
And Crosshair and the Bad Batchers fight together to kill these things, and they're reunited with Omega. And as they're leaving, this admiral says, "Come on, everyone exit the facility. He will die with the other clones." And he orders an attack on the Kaminoan base. And this episode ends with them destroying the base.
And the Bad Batch trying to escape with Crosshair. They stun Crosshair, turns on him. They stun Crosshair.
Him, and they're carrying him away. Oh, Crosshair, come with us. We got you. Oh, that's what they said.
And then they go to Mount Rushmore to find the lost city of gold.
Yeah.
Right?
Close. It was what's that place under the sea? What's that place under the sea?
Atlantis.
They went to Atlantis.
The Little Mermaid. No. I liked the episode. I thought it was good.
It was okay. I wish the fighting scene wouldn't have been against Omega's army, but yeah, it was okay. I wish it would have been against other clones or something cool like that, but
what if they just die?
It'd be kind of weird. I think one or two of I think probably Tech dies. I think one of them dies.
I think Hunter dies.
No shot. Hunter dies. No shot. I don't know, maybe. We haven't seen Rex again in person, and that was one of your predictions. Is it
just
a
couple?
So there's only one episode left for that to happen.
See him.
Really, I would love to see him. I have this really cool video of Rex to show you after this, but that's besides the point. He's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. He's probably in my top 5, I think. for Star Wars characters. He's probably my favorite character that's not a Jedi, I think.
Really?
Not a Jedi or not a Sith. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Right?
personally prefer Dexter Jetstream.
Okay. I swear that he's going to become lore. We've talked about him so many times on this podcast. It's really weird how often he comes up.
Characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was good. I'm excited to see the finale. I think it'll be good. We got confirmation there was going to be a season 2.
How long is the finale going to be? Do we know?
No, I don't think so.
So
12 and a half minutes.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect time then.
And 12 minutes of that are credit. it's just a clip of Camino sinking, and then credits roll for
the
12
only thing
minutes.
it's a clip of Camino sinking, and out of the ground on a platform rises Omega with a droid army.
She's got like red eyes. She like the Sith lightning from the like Rise of Skywalker coming down and.
So, yeah. One other thing, or not one other, but one thing I wanted to talk about was the lawsuit between Scarlett Johansson and Disney.
ScarJo.
So here's the deal with the lawsuit, if you don't mind me explaining it, even though you're going to be wanting to become a lawyer someday. I think we both know when it comes to legal expertise and legal things, I'm the go-to. So I will explain the intricacies of this lawsuit.
I will push back on that, but for the sake of time, I'll let it slide for now.
Okay. So Scarlett Johansson claims a breach of contract because Disney released Black Widow on their streaming platform instead of in theaters because Scarlett Johansson's overall cut of the film was theater revenue.
Yeah.
And Scarlett Johansson claims that she kind of got I don't want to use that word, but there's a word I'm thinking of. She kind of got screwed, but there's another word I'm thinking of. She got screwed with this contract. And she wants some of the money for them releasing it on a streaming platform. Now, Disney's claim is, I don't know if you know this, but in contract law, there's some, I don't know, legal principle that if some obscene natural disaster or something so obscene no one would have even expected it happens, the contract can change. It can be changed, whatever. Yeah. And Disney's going to claim that COVID was the reason for that. So that could be an interesting legal principle, because if Disney successfully claims that COVID changed the contract and they are allowed to do that because of COVID, that could be a big sort of what's it called when they
some precedent
for future cases, depending on where it goes, but it could be a precedent for future cases, which would be really bad in my opinion.
You think?
If companies are able to say that they don't have to honor a contract or some statute in a contract because of COVID, it seems
that's pretty bad.
Really weird to me.
I struggle with this one because to me it just feels like ultra wealthy people arguing over money.
Disney's more ultra though. Disney's ultra.
Yeah, but Scarlett Johansson's worth $250 million probably. Or something insane.
To be fair, yeah, for sure. And Disney, I forgot to make this point real quick. Disney leaked their and her contract and how much she earned.
Yeah.
In an effort to persuade people to not side with her, I guess, which is also really just kind of scummy. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
For a multi-billion-dollar organization? It's supposed to be family-centered? It's a woman producer, woman lead, just taking the piss. I'm not saying her being a woman, it shouldn't have happened because of that, but it's a weird publicity kind of thing to do, right?
Yeah,
and Scarlett Johansson's gonna make that claim. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes to the public and she's they're uncomfortable with how much I made. Why can't women make this much? Men make this much in Hollywood. Blah blah blah.
It's just I think they just have to come out with a strong presence right now, because you got major stars that could probably had similar contracts, right? Like that Jungle Cruise movie, Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt.
What if Emily they start Blunt coming for Disney? The one in Who's the gal in the 101
Emma
Dalmatians?
Stone.
Emma Stone. She's cute. That's not podcast talk, but she's cute. That's all I'm gonna say. She's a cute girl.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, I think Dwayne Johnson said he wouldn't. Who else? Somebody else said they wouldn't. What else has been released on Disney Plus? That doesn't make sense. But whatever. Either way, I don't think it ever makes it to court. I'm sure they settle for some like slightly smaller than number than Scarlett Johansson's owed. And I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem unreasonable to me that COVID caused the movie it needed to be released.
Yeah, it doesn't seem unreasonable, but she should definitely get cut.
Yeah, it's tricky because it's yeah, I agree. I think she will. It's probably just them kind of grandstanding to get smaller, and I think rich people like that sue each other all the time.
Yeah, they do.
And so it's
it's like a big thing.
it's not even I wouldn't even put it past her working with them again.
Yeah.
Just because it's yeah, I don't know. What was I gonna say?
If we ever get to 1 million subs, I'm going to sue you for defamation for saying that there was not a conspiracy about the episodes of Bad Batch. I'm not trolling. You're getting sued for defamation. I'm not. This is not a joke. I'm not trolling.
The 1 million subscriber special, you just don't show up and all just on your seat.
No,
there's
it's just my lawyer.
It's some random lawyer. It's some comical it's just a lawyer from a TV show, not a real. No, Jace, that's not even a real lawyer. He's just an actor. What's going on? But no, it was kind of good to go with the Black Widow thing. The CEO of IMAX said that Black Widow lost out on $500 million because it didn't release exclusively in theaters.
You think that's true? He's
biased. So I don't understand. That does not make sense to me.
I don't think it's possible, right?
How does that so you're telling me that if it was only released in theaters 80 million more people would have gone to see the movie than went? What's the I don't get the and I was listening to somebody talk about this, and there's somebody that has always come down very hard against the day and date Disney Premier Access thing, and they're because it's too expensive. It's ridiculously expensive to have to pay $30 to access it, which for one, I don't think that makes sense, because if you think about it, if maybe for one person or 2 people it might be more expensive than the movie theater.
But that's why you go to the theater.
Well, but what about a family of 5 or 6? Now you're going to the theater, you're $10 a pop. You have a family of 5, you're at $50, and that's pre concessions, that's pre any of that stuff. So that argument doesn't make sense. But then the only way I could see Disney losing out on money from the Premier Access is because it's cheaper for people to watch it from home. And so they lost money that way, which totally combats the argument that it's too expensive to release it at home. Just doesn't make sense. And I thought it was funny that the CEO of IMAX was
a really non-biased source. A good pundit.
ExxonMobil saying, no, I think we should keep using fossil fuels. There's not a problem with fossil.
Wait,
hold on.
Who are you? I'm from ExxonMobil. He's wait, what?
Are you?
How did you get in here?
Is this a joke?
This is a climate change reform group. This is my This is my high school environmental group. What are you doing here? He's they're what's your role there? I'm the CEO. You're the CEO of ExxonMobil. How did you get in here?
Mr. CEO of ExxonMobil. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. I wanted to bring it up. I don't think we'd done a podcast since I heard about that.
That is funny.
Kind of funny.
What other movies have come out? Suicide Squad?
None that I've seen. I haven't seen any of the newer movies. Suicide Squad.
We'll have to go see some.
That Free Guy movie I heard was pretty good.
With Ryan Reynolds? That movie always seemed weird to me. I mean, he's a good actor. And
It did seem, and that's what everyone said. And then people were like, they loved it.
really,
Like people loved it. Yeah.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
yeah, could be interesting. What else comes out soon? Shang-Chi comes out in like September. That's pretty soon.
Yeah, I think it's like September 15th because I think it's like I can't say that on the podcast. I don't think. But yeah, September is what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so we'll have to see that. We got What If came out. I watched it at the time of recording this. Jace.
I swear it came out tomorrow. Just kidding.
Doesn't What If come out on Fridays? That.
But to be fair, they're trolling, right? They're deliberately misleading me because they released Bad Batch on Fridays and they released What If on Wednesday.
I think
They're deliberately doing
it is
it,
a
though.
little bit weird that this conversation came up 15 episodes into the season. It's been 15 weeks.
It is weird. It is kind of weird.
It doesn't.
I can't think about it. Like
it
it's
must
really
have
weird.
been a weird like mental shift like after like week 12 or something, because it doesn't make sense that I never said, did you watch the Bad Batch episode last night when we record podcasts normally on a Saturday? And you said, you never said last night. What do you mean? They come out on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I guess I just
Very odd.
sometimes I just tune things out. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
no,
I
we
just hear
can
what
tell.
No. Don't say that. The viewers know. That's another. You just made another point on my defamation lawsuit. Yeah, laugh it up while you
Public
still can.
entity. You're a public entity. Okay, let's
All right.
wrap this one up.
Let's wrap it up. CTS PC EP 25 CTS Pop Culture CTC CT.